Onward and upward. Let's see, where are we? Yeah, I was working on verification and verification and cookie storage. That's what I was working on. And I was trying to add the validation to my token check here. Because, yeah, we need to have a valid... Look at it, let's do it again. It's like if I click on it, that one works fine. Alright, let's go here. I don't quite understand why why I can't select my screen. See? Nothing. But if I go here, it works fine, see? Totally bizarre, that's all I gotta say. No, it works fine. Very weird. It's like it's not allowing me to select it under normal circumstances. But I don't need this right now. I probably don't need that. You know, here's the thing. What is that thing on the top of my screen? See? And it doesn't work again. What is this thing? What is this thing? It's like a snap capture of some kind. But I don't know how. What is that thing? And how am I getting it open? Because it's not closable. Can't even click on it. I know, it's weird. I can't do it again. Look at that. It's weird. I'm trying to get rid of whatever. Power Toys Measure Tool. What is that? What is that? Is that what was causing my problem? No. Why? I do have this open. Don't know why. I don't think that would cause any issues, but yeah, it's like a weird, there's a weird thing going on here. And I don't know. Huh. Oh, that's GeForce. It's not my... I don't have anything open here. I know, this is a distraction again. I do this, but... I'm trying to figure out what's preventing me from being able to select stuff on my screen. See, it's like I can't select my screen unless I actually connect, and then I can do stuff. Like I can click. Like I click here. See? Can't click. I can't move or click anywhere once I click off of whatever my active screen is. It's just not working. All right, let's see what happens. Is this the case? It's like I can connect over. All right, I'm sorry. I'm having some serious technical issues here, and this has been happening consistently. So I'm trying to figure out what is blocking me from being able to connect to my... Alright, let's take this one, for example. Like, I can't click on either one of these. Neither one of them work. But if I click on this and then go here, I can do it. And if I take it over here, is that the case on this page? Is it just my monitor? Something weird going on my monitor? Because like, if I click here now, I can't do anything. If I go over to this monitor, it works fine. Something is weird on this first screen. Look, I can't even select on the tabletop. It's like my desktop. Is that an L? How would that be even a monitor thing? It doesn't even make sense. Why would that even be a monitor thing? Because this is like, the monitor is just going to show me. I mean, the computer doesn't care what monitor, but this monitor over here works fine. I can select everything I put over there. So I click, I go like this. Go over here, click, click. Yeah, I can go back and forth. Nothing. I go over here, click here. That goes great. And okay, well that allowed me to go back. Interesting. So if I come back over here, goes great. No, I don't know what I just did, but somehow I got it back. It's working now. Whoa, I don't know what's going on, man. To get the mystery flaws going, gotta love it. Alright, let's turn back on my screen here. That's assuming everything's still working. Yeah, look, I can click back and forth. Everything. Can I do this? Oh, no, wait, I can't click there. Oh, look, it broke again. Yeah, it broke again. It's like when I click the back screen, no, I mean, it is possible it has something to do with my, yeah, see, I don't have any control again. And I can't click on my... I can't even click in the app. It's like I'm not even here. It's like my mouse is not functioning. Is it my mouse? It's like it's moving, but it's not. But I can go down here. Why would it work down here? So that works, and now I'm broken over there, and I can't toggle. I can't switch between screens unless I go over to this screen. Go over here. No problem. I can toggle back and forth between my various apps. But I can't do anything here. Until I go back over here. Then I can come over here. Nope, I can't do it at all. The only way I can select stuff on this screen is to actually click it, and then I can. That is such a bizarre problem. And this happens every time. I don't know how to get this to fix. It says it's updating, but it never actually does. And then this validating runtime never goes away either. That is so weird. I don't have any control on this screen. I can't even right click on this desktop. Huh. And it's like I have 3 monitors, but 2 of them work fine. This is causing me consternation. I don't know. Why do I have 2 open consoles here? It's like I can click, look, see, I was toggling back and forth there, and it would work, but now when I click the desktop, I can no longer toggle between my stuff. Now, if I go down here and select one of these things, but it's like somehow they vanish into the desktop. It's like everything suddenly becomes part of the desktop, unless I select it. So like if I click here, I can go here and edit it. A minute ago. So here I got this, no problem. But if I click off, no, I can't. Somebody want to tell me what's going on with my computer? When I rebooted earlier, that fixed it, but it's been doing this, it seems like, multiple times now. It's been doing this daily. And I have no idea what's causing it. Click, and it's gone. It's so weird. What is causing that, man? And even if I select it, if it's already primary, I can't do anything with it. But if I select this one, it's a secondary, then I can select it and be able to do it. But I can't toggle back. See these? Oh, that let me toggle back. See, I'm going back and forth. No problem. Everything's happy. Click my desktop and nothing. I lose it. I can't do it anymore. Oh, that one. You know, it's almost like the window's not right. Okay, watch this. Watch. So if I click here, this is totally not relevant. But look, I click here. Everything's working, right? I can't click on any of these now. I lost it again. But it's almost like there's a small little window here. See, like I can click on that and drag it around. But I can't right click on my desktop. That works. Why can't I right click my desktop? Because if I go to any other desktop and right click, it pops up a menu. But there's no right clicking this desktop. No siree. And none of this stuff works. Doesn't matter what I do. But I did notice if I click on here and then click here, it'll work. See? If I go here, it's gone. I can't do anything with it. But look, there's nothing. Right? So I have no control. But if I click on this and move it up to this corner here, I can do this. It won't work here, but I can click up in this corner and it works fine. There is, look, see, look, I can't right click anywhere in this menu, but if I click up here in this corner, it works. So there's something wrong with my display. Is there like an overlapping? There is something weird going on, man. know this is a problem that none of you want to see or do or care about, but I don't know if anybody else has had this going on. And if you have, tell me by all means what the heck is happening with my computer. It's like this area I can click. I have a desk, yeah, I can get this desktop icons, but if I go anywhere else, nothing. And only if my, it's like this area is the only one. And my taskbar works fine. What is this thing? Oh, Postman? I'm going to quit Postman. I'm going to quit some of this stuff and see if any of those things trigger a reset of some kind. And there's got to be something screwing with me. I mean, I could reboot and it seemed to fix it before, but that doesn't seem like an ideal scenario, right? Look, if I start in that corner, I can drag my stuff all the way over. I can do this. Open terminal. See, everything that's in this corner can be selected. I don't even know how far it has to be selected, because here I can do it. But here I cannot. I don't know what's going on. Again, I guess I'm going to have to reboot. I don't know what the exact solution is here. And it kind of resets sometimes. Windows 11 cannot select items on one screen. Can't click anything on desktop, Windows 11 and 12. Second monitor is grayed out. It says can't click anything on desktop. Alright, let's see what this does. This is probably not the same problem.
Stop. Then today's video is for you. Let's troubleshoot and resolve this issue together.
Alright, let's do it.
So when I move the cursor to any icon on the desktop, the icons are not being highlighted. If I try to double click on them to open the application, nothing is happening.
Yeah, see, that's not what's happening.
Let us look at the first method and see if it will work. This method involves restarting the File Explorer. You can restart the File Explorer from the Task Manager. Sometimes, a simple reset of Windows Explorer can resolve this issue. Here's how you do it. First, open the Task Manager. You can open the Task Manager using the GUI or by pressing Ctrl, Shift, and Escape keys. In the Processes tab, locate Windows Explorer. Right-click and select Restart.
If I can find Windows Explorer, because I have so many freaking items on my desktop. Windows, PowerShell.
Let us now check if the desktop is responsive.
I don't know if this is going to be the problem, but why can't I find Windows Explorer? Where's Windows Explorer? Restart. And this isn't about responsiveness, because I can click on well, really, I can click on anything. It's just, I don't know. All right, so look, I can't click on these windows anymore. But if I click in this upper corner here, I can. It's almost like this area works, but everywhere else does not. I can't click anywhere. But I can click on these taskbar items. Let's go to Task Manager, bring that back up. I want to see if I push this all the way over on top of those, and then click here, see, doesn't work, doesn't work, doesn't work. Nothing over here works. Click here, nothing works. If I go all the way over here, that works. Look. I wonder what happens if I like drag this, like this mouse over here, this item over here. What if I go here? And then say view auto. That's not auto arrange anything. I'll just take these guys. We're going to stick them over here. Wait a minute. See, look. That's weird. Alright, so if I go here, I can't click on this, right? Oh, maybe I can. Alright, so that one works. Nope. Not everything, because that was the last live thing. Okay. So if I click over here, that works because it's over in this corner. But like, notice how I can go here, but as soon as I go outside, it goes, I can't click. It's like, nope, that area doesn't exist. Look, see? It's like dead. I can move it over here this far, but it doesn't exist if I go outside of that range. What is going on? Alright, so let's see. And it works only if I click on it and activate it like that. Let's change that. Selectable area of Windows monitor does not equal monitor area. Second monitor. Fix Windows 10 FA on screen. No, that's not the problem. How to change monitor physical dimension. Change the screen resolution. Why does... Alright, selectable area of window does not match monitor. Does not match view. Windows 11. See, these are not the same. There we go. Let's just see what that says. There seems to be a bug in the area above the taskbar. Some users are reporting another problem that when the app is full screen, it does not fill that section above the taskbar. The Windows finishes it. Huh. Unfortunately, both, if I try to change the scale factor and try to change this, let's try to do that. Let's see what changing the scale does. Display settings. So I'm here. Now this should take me back here. So this works while I have it selected here. Let's take this back to 100%. It's lame, but we'll change it to 100%. Now, does that fix everything? Can I select everywhere now? Look, I can only select this corner, this half of the screen. Weird, 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 weird. So scaling is not the problem. I can't even click that. Until I click over here and open sliding settings, and then I go here. I'm gonna go back to scale. And then I don't have any weird settings on. I don't have brightness, overlays, nothing. Let's change my resolution. We'll just go 2560 by 1600. I don't like this resolution for this monitor, but we'll keep it for the moment. And go here. See, look, I still can't select anywhere outside of that section. Help! Say Anton, how you doing, man? Hey, can you help me fix my monitor? I do not know what's going on. I cannot select part of my screen unless I activate it. Like if I select it down here, I can activate it. It's like here, I can't click on any of these windows, right? But if I can't even click on this window unless I click on it way over here. See? Something about my clickable area is only like 3 inches from the left. It's driving me bonkers. Makes it very hard to do my coding when I can't switch between the screens. I mean, the other option is, of course, I can reboot my computer, and that fixed it yesterday, but then it started again. So I'm trying to figure out why is that happening. I'm going to try. Let's see what happens if I change a position. Maybe I have some weird overlapping going on here. No, see, it won't even let me change I can change left and right positions of things. But it won't let me like put a gap. No, all I did is move my lower monitor here over a notch. That's not meant to do anything. My lower monitor works fine. My left monitor works fine, but my center monitor is being a turd. I can't use any of the screen. I can't click on any of these. Nothing. Unless I'm over here, then I can do it. See? And any window that goes into this area, I can click on just fine. I don't know. I guess I have to. Do I log that as a bug? Is that constant? I mean, I don't even know how to make that. I don't know if that'll happen if I. Will that happen? I wonder if I only have one monitor. Let's see. Let's turn off. Let's disconnect this. Oh my gosh! I gotta go over here. Display settings. To allow me to reactivate this. Go here. Let's disconnect this bottom display. Actually, let's move my chat over here. And then we're gonna go disconnect display. I don't know if the display has anything to do with it. Keep changes. Alright, so we're gonna try and toggle. Nope, still can't toggle. Nothing. So we'll disconnect my other display, which is the one that's holding my OBS. But so now I got my chat in the middle of my screen here because I'm going to close my not close my OBS. I'm going to close the monitor that has it selected. Disconnect this display. So now I have one display. Now, can I switch? Nope, still can't switch monitors. Switch windows unless I'm way over here. See, I can't even click this one unless I go way over to the left. See, now it works. But I can only, you can tell the range at which I can select my stuff. Ooh, yeah, it's nothing like seeing that nonsense. I apologize for the doubling of screens, Santon. I know you're the only one here right now. But yeah, I've got a weird functional problem, and I would, like I said, normally I would just disconnect and restart my computer, but this has been happening. So now I'm trying to figure out how to fix it. So it doesn't have to do with my multiple monitors, because obviously, what if I change monitors? What if I change? Is it that monitor that's somehow wigging out? I don't know how that would even. How would it be my monitor? It's like the clickable area. I changed resolutions. I changed scaling. I even disconnected all my external monitors. But nothing seems to allow me to click these. I even turned off a bunch of my background apps to try to see if that had any effect. And that didn't work either. So click. Yeah, I can only do it in this little left token area. How come I can't? And is that I don't know what the problem is. Is this a Windows thing? Is it a graphics card thing? Is it? God, I don't know, man. You would think there'd be a way to reset it. I mean, I thought maybe changing my resolution would have reset it, but or maybe I figured I thought possibly. Thought maybe, possibly, my issue was that, I mean, I should be programming right now, and I will, but that means in order for this to get to working again, I may have to reboot, because I don't know how else to get this to stop doing that. It's like basically 3/4. It's more than 3/4 of my screen. It's like 80% of my screen. I can't select the windows. Unless I select it down here, which is not the problem. So I go here. All right, let's see. On Windows 11. Let's see. Cannot select any window on outside of a small area on the left. How to move, no. How to fix application opening, no. How to move a window, no. How to make windows, no. There's a small part of the screen which, that's like the opposite. There's a small part of the screen I cannot select. This is not a small part, this is a big part, and it's a majority of the screen. Cannot click on anything on bottom third of screen. Now that's kind of closer. I have a window open. All buttons on the bottom third of the screen do not work. Also, I've tried Spotify, Teams, Chrome. If the button is below the bottom third of the third, it does not work. That sounds similar. There's a reason why more than 180. Oh wait, what is that? That is just a stupid advertisement. No, I just had to restart a few times. Maybe try and leave. Forces are strong at that part of the screen. Well, turn off screen icon on taskbar might work. It worked for me. If I open Task Manager and ended search, I tried restarting Windows Explorer and Task Manager. That didn't do squat. Ended search. Is search on? I don't know why that would be a thing, but let's try it. I already tried the restart Explorer. Ended search. All right. Well, let's see. Here's search. I don't even know what that is. What is that? It says suspended. Weird. All right. End that task. Still says suspended. Still can't. Still don't work. Once I click on my desktop, nothing, and I can't click on anything that's outside of this little area here. Huh. Well, guess I'm rebooting. Not a fan. Not a fan, but I don't have any idea what's going on. You know what? Sometimes these games you have running in the background. I wonder if that's doing something. Let's turn that off. Because sometimes, you know, they change the resolution of your screen in the functional area. I don't know. It's just, I'm grasping right now. Yeah, I didn't do anything. So, yeah, I can't even. Arg, man. All right, well, I don't know the solution to this. If anybody else knows why, help. Help me. Anybody? Because this happened yesterday, it's happening today. And it just happens. I mean, there's like no logic why it happens. It just ceases to work. And I wish if I could replicate it or something, do something specific that causes it to occur, then I can at least know what happens. I don't think any of these are doing anything. I've been just exiting things in hopes that one of these would give me hope. What is this? Weird. Why is that even open? Huh. Okay. Disable Canon. Let's exit that. Open devices and printers. Eject VGA controller. Elect. I don't even know what that is. Eject video controller. I don't want to eject my video controller. What? Keep hearing sounds outside. I keep thinking there's an animal or something in the back door, like one of my dogs or anything, but there's nothing there. Discord? Should I just quit Discord? I'd be surprised if Discord had anything to do with it, but I'm just shutting stuff down, hoping one of these things is the culprit behind my pain. Changing my resolution back. Can't change. Nope, still can't do anything. Still hating on me. Except now it doesn't fit that area. It's almost like it's a physical area. So when I change the resolution, this area gets smaller. I don't know, maybe it's not, because I think it reached out. Because see, now this doesn't fit in that screen because the resolution increased this size, but I think it actually just reduced this. Let's close this because I'm pretty sure that's not causing it. I'm closing everything. I apologize. I know you're probably not here to watch me fiddle faddle with my computer. But hey, somebody somewhere is going to have has the same problem, and if I figure it out while online, I can turn this into a solution for people. I'm going to say, hey, this app is a jerk. It's messing with everything. Alright, let's go to Task Manager. I don't have that many things open, as you can see. I mean, OBS, do you think OBS is causing it? No, I think I already tried OBS, but I can't check OBS while online. It'd be funny if it was OBS, because then I'd be like, how's OBS breaking things? Alright, so I don't have anything open. How come? Let's close Bash. I don't even know what Bonjour service is. What is this thing? Bonjour service? What is Bonjour service? Service? Service. In Windows 11. Modifies Windows system registry to configure and govern how hardware transmits or receives the data over a network. Its architecture can work with IPv6. It doesn't use this. Huh. What does the Bonjour application does in the computer? Well, no. App named Bonjour on my Windows PC. I was going to delete an app, so I went to Control Panel, found the app named Bonjour. It said it was from Apple Inc. I think it's a virus, even though if you suspect you may have malware. It is not a virus, just comes with Apple software. It's an instant messaging utility. It's just that I have an Apple product at home. Just hit uninstall and Control Panel. If it says apps are using it, ignore it. Oh, I can end it? I can uninstall this? Alright, I can end it then if it's just that. Cortex. I've had these things be a problem. This Cortex stuff. This is related to it's not NVIDIA. It's I don't know, one of those other tools. Oh, I don't even need that. I don't even know what that is. Elgato Game Capture. I could probably uninstall that. I haven't been using my Elgato in a long time. My Elgato Game Capture is what I use when I'm streaming my. Did any of that do anything? Nope. 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 But I still have that side. So if just killing something is not causing it, what are these containers? NVIDIA. I am using NVIDIA, obviously. Let's end this task. Let's see what this NVIDIA crap is. It's not Norton. I don't know what any of those containers do. NVIDIA share. Web helper service. Alright, so all my NVIDIA crap is turned off. And Razer. Oh, Razer. That's what that is. See, NVIDIA has to have some kind of containers. Still don't have any control. I still can't select anything. I gotta go click over here to turn it back on. All these Razer Chroma things. I have a Razer mouse, but at some point I'm gonna disconnect my mouse probably. It's gonna go, I don't know what to do, man. You just disconnected everything. Like I said, I've had problems with Razer stuff causing issues in the past. So whatever I'm putting back, Razer keeps putting them back. Stream server? Why do I have that? I can't get rid of them. Keeps putting them back. Oh, now they're going away. My mouse still works. Still can't connect on the desktop though. So if Razer is the fault, that's, I don't know. I'm going to try and go 175. Let's make it bigger. Everything gets to be bigger. So now I've got huge scaling. See, look, oh, let's click here. Oh, interesting. Look at that. It works here. Of course, I'm scaled at insane amounts. So is it my scaling that's broken? You shouldn't change these settings. Oh, I'm not. Go back to 150. Oh, wow. Okay, well, that seems to maybe fixed it, at least for now. I don't know what I did. I mean, I do know what I did. I changed the scaling to 175. I went down to 125, 100. So I wonder if I go all the way down here. Change the scaling to microscopic. Oh, that's set. That's fixed. See, I can click everywhere now. And I can click on all my windows. I mean, even at 125, it's probably a bit tiny. But but whatever, it worked. I went to a bigger scale. I tried going to a smaller scale. It did nothing. It didn't break it, obviously, switching to it. But when I went to a larger scale, it seems to fix it. Now I've got to let it happen again at some point, and then see if going to a larger scale fixes it. Now I don't know why it's doing that, but let's see if I can re-enable my screens and everything keeps working. Alright, now if I go over here and click, everything's working. I tell you, man, everything's fixed. I don't know what I did or why that worked or what I did to make it work. I mean, okay, let's rephrase that. I do know what I did. I just don't know why it worked. There's obviously something that got out of wonk. And using a smaller scale did nothing. When I went smaller, it did nothing. When I went back to 100, it did nothing. But when I went bigger than 100, it fixed it. So there you go. If you're having this weirdness, if you encounter this weirdness, there you go. There's the problem. And once I see it, I'll try to fix it, and I'll do a little video, I guess, and show people how to fix it, because I can't be the only one that's happened to, and I don't know why it's happening, because it's happened to me a couple of times. But for now, I guess I'm good to work. But I need water. Hold on. I got my water machine over here. I'm going to go get a drink because I think I'm almost out here. Right. Let's go. Fill this puppy up. So we've had nice weather lately, as I'm sure most people, well, I'll say most people have. Somebody was telling me that in Chicago, one of my other viewers was saying that it's been cloudy and crappy over there for a while. So not everybody's having great weather. All right, so problem fixed. Let's get some work done. Woohoo! Well, I don't know what broke it, so who knows? It could easily just be broke again in like 2 seconds. But right now, it's fixed. So, well, here's a weirdness. Oh, there we go. Right. Yep, everything's working. I was able to switch. Go here, everything's good. I don't, like I said, until I know what causes it, I won't know what uncauses it. Uncauses? Is it uncausing? This is a thing. Look at this nonsense. When I go into Visual Studio, or not Visual Studio, Visual Code, I keep getting this. And it keeps saying it needs to update. Look. 5801 to the latest for the best experience. Alright. How's your functions core tools? Yeah. And then this little validation thing doesn't go away. Upgrade to 3.2. What am I doing? 3.2.7. It says finished running command. Now look, it says it's at 4.0. 4.3.1, and we should be good, right? So I got a terminal. Let's see, what is it called? I'm gonna go to my there's not an npm. What is it called? Function Azure-functions-core-tools. npm Azure-functions-core-tools at latest. Oops. At latest. Okay, so it's installing. It's doing something. Because whatever I was trying to hit that automatic install, you know, just click update. I don't know, it didn't seem to be working, so I'm trying this. Four point 3.1. Debug versions greater than or equal to 3.2. Alright, well. And how do I get rid of this validating runtime icon? That's annoying too. Turn off info warning notifications with Azure. Azure Logic Apps. Says auto update. Add, apply, add extension settings, apply extensions to all profiles. I'm not using this Azure Logic Apps right now, but install stuff, yeah, kind of expect it to work. Is it this one? I really probably don't even need I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'll probably be doing more Azure, especially when I go back to finishing my certification program. I had to stop doing it for a little while because money's tight right now. I didn't want to be paying $50 a month. I know. It's like, it takes money to make money, right? So if I want to get a job doing that, I got to pay to get the learning. But such is the way. Azure. What's the name of the app? Can I just say Azure-Logic Apps? Standard. It says I'm currently using that. Huh. Alright, well, whatever. It says I'm working. It says it's good. I'm going to close this and see what it does. And see if the update for the item I did do worked. Because it says validating, and then when it's validating, it's like validation never goes away. It's driving me crazy. And it just sits on the bottom of the screen, irritating me. Going, I'm going to irritate you. Like, yes, you are, like a ghost from beyond. A ghost from beyond. I know, it's kind of a goofy thing to say, huh? So look, Azure Functions Core Tools, same thing, same error. I can't get this to go away. Don't warn me again. I don't know what to say. It doesn't go away. Update your local.NET SDK version. 6.0, 4.23 to 4.25, which is such a small thing, but and then I have this and I say update and it says it does that and creating temporary folder, and whatever it's doing is not working. And then this doesn't go away ever. Remote and local file sizes are equal, whatever the heck that means. Extracting the archive. Adding the current process. Installed version 8.04. But it's almost like it's not telling the system that it's installed. You know? And I don't even think I'm using these. This is React and junk. All right. But so far that's gone. I don't know how long it'll be gone, but it's gone for now. And don't need that, so we're going to go here, open programming. Unable to load conversion. That's right. Let's log into my ChatGPT. It's been a friend. I gotta say, I am so far impressed with ChatGPT. Like I said, I had used it a couple of times and found it totally worthless. And so I wasn't doing it. And then somebody came on and goes, how come you're not using ChatGPT? I'm like, because it's only ever failed me. And but I said, I'll try it again. And then I did something and it's like, oh, well, that's actually providing useful information. So as you can see, I've got quite a few requests and inquiries to ChatGPT. And it's been very helpful. It's been more helpful than Google, you know, the YouTube guys and everybody else. Because they're not doing what I'm trying to do. Or at least not exactly. You know, I'm trying to do it with this language and that language, and I'm trying to do this call and that call. And they're just not doing it. It's not that they don't want to. I mean, the odds are, you know, roll a dice, and it's like, you know. Now, do I like using ChatGPT? Well, kinda. I do. But I like the YouTube videos a little. They just seem a little bit more straightforward. They're visual. I'm a visual slash tactile learner, right? ChatGPT does show you the code, but again, it's just code. It's text. So the only thing I've got there is tactile. I can look at it and go, this makes sense, but it doesn't start to stick in my mind until I'm putting it in. So that's just the way I function. All right, so last time on the Great Adventures of, so the first hour you can throw away. You can throw away everything before this. I mean, if you want to just watch me do the work that I'm intended to do. The first hour was me trying to fix my screen, and it's happened a few times. So when it happens again, I will definitely attempt my fix, and if my fix works again, I will go, okay, I know how to fix this. And I will put a YouTube video up to save someone else the headache, or at least help someone get rid of that headache. All right. I didn't sleep well last night, or I didn't sleep long enough. Went to bed too late, got up too early, so I'm a little wonky today. All right. So where was I? I was trying to get my auth to work, and I was trying to work on my validation. Sorry, my wife is texting me. Gotta see what she needs here. My wife's gonna get. Alright, so. I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted again. All kinds of news today. My son's car broke down. It was smoking. He freaked out. It was bad news. And so I went and helped him out. Turns out it was overheating, and luckily it doesn't. I gotta tell my son how much he owes me. Okay. Done with that. Sorry about the distraction. Letting people know the events of the day, keeping them abreast of what happened. Anyway, his car overheated. I had to drive it to a local oil change place. I think he was apparently low in coolant. I'm hoping it didn't crack the radiator or anything nasty like that. We'll see. I got to check if the radiator's leaking. If I don't see any leaking on the floor on the driveway outside, then we should probably be okay. But we'll see. In the meantime, back to task. Okay, so the whole goal here was to get my validation in place and also get So I had to get the token created, installed, and then I got to figure out how to validate it. I had to go create a secret cookie. I got the secret cookie installed and applied to the token. Now I can validate that the token's valid because it'll have to come back as, it'll have to come back with. I was using middleware to do this. Redirect, verify, and here's the secret that I'm doing. And next response, return next response dot next. And yeah, so I should be able to look at that and see if it was validated, and then if it comes back correctly. So right now I'm only going to have account and then the ladders page. This is where, I mean, so this triggers on certain routes or paths. So the accounts page is going to have to trigger it. Export constant config equals matcher. All right. I wonder if I should put it on account. I'm just, if there's an error, we're going to go to auth. If there's no token, we're going to go to auth. But see, I don't want to force people to go to auth. There are certain times when I want to say, well, I just want to know if there is a token. I'm not even going to necessarily verify the token for the purposes of, well, I guess, yeah, because there's different things I would do, right? So on the home page, I want to come in, I just want people to be able to go to the home page, and if they are already logged in on the home page, anytime they navigate there, instead of taking them to the auth page or anything like that, I just want to look that they got a token. So I'm going to existing token equals get auth token from cookie. And then if I have a token, we're going to act accordingly down here. So part of the problem was, though, I think I couldn't, I needed to call get auth token. I had a function method. See it here? Nope. Where is get auth token from cookie? Or did I actually put it in? Did I actually put it in the layout? Navbar. Oh, I did. It's right there. It's declared, but its value is never used. That's weird. Let's go S. There we go. I spelled it wrong, apparently. Require next header cookies, return cookies dot get auth token value. And is it auth token? I don't think that's what I call it. Yeah, I think the cookie I need to get is the name that's in here, which is this guy. It's the name of my token. Now we're going to go over to my navbar. It's really only the navbar that cares. Just all right, well, let's see what happens. What's the worst that can happen, right? We're going to have to go here. Did I run my, oops, I don't even have my authorize running. Gonna need this to be running. Oh yeah, it's like there's a ghost standing behind me. Keep hearing clicking and moving and brushing, and I'm like, all right, ghost, Whatever you're doing back there, stop it. Be a good ghost and be quiet. What is the appropriate amount of ghost noise? I mean, I'm gonna have a ghost. What's a reasonable amount to expect from a ghost? You know, just so he doesn't disrupt your life. You know, he's had his. I don't know. Alright, so this is what you get when you're waiting for stuff. Alright, so we're up and running. I can close this now. Or not close it, but minimize it. Alright, so we're going to go ahead. We have this going. Let's go ahead and click here and open up this guy. Control click. Get myself back to my here's the error. Okay, so error. Cookies was called outside a request scope. What does that mean? What is a request scope? You'll need to implement logic to extract the token from cookies. This example assumes a server-side environment. Return cookies. Okay, so this is not right. And I think I have to use, I am using client. All right, so I'm obviously doing something wrong. I did have a ChatGPT discussion, or me and ChatGPT were talking about this yesterday. Let's see. Validate bearer token XJS. All right, so I did I got the Druid working, or at least I got the Druid set up. All right, define Druid in .NET Web API, done that. Startup, got that. Druid. All right, so this is me defining the Druid still. I call it a Druid. It's just JSON web token. I know. So it's not that I don't know what it is. It's just that Druid is easier. Generate the bearer token in .NET Web API. Store the bearer token in XJS, which I thought I was doing. When you're in Next.js application, so we get the fetch, and then we have, I don't want to do local storage. No, it's supposed to be stored in a cookie. Whenever you make an authenticated request to .NET API, you need to attach the token in the authorization header. All right, let's try this again. I'm gonna do a re-request. You gotta be so picky with ChatGPT. That's the thing. All right. All right. How to verify .NET Auth Web API bearer token is valid in Next.js application that is using cookies. Extract the bearer token from the cookie. Okay. Oh, there we go. I was going to say, that's an awfully short response. It was like still working on the other part. Okay. In the Next.js API route or middleware. Okay, so I'm going to go over my middleware. Oh, that's where I'm at. Middleware. So, all right, so we're in the middleware. We're going to go middleware rec. First need to extract the token from the cookie. So we got get token, right? Constant cookies parse, constant token rec cookies.get redirect. Okay, so that's different. bearer token. Option B, asymmetric key. No. Adjust secret. What is the asymmetric key thing? If the .NET API uses an asymmetric key, you'll verify the token using the public key. I would love to use this. This feels better. It feels like a cooler way to do it, but verify optional claims. Show me middleware example. Middleware rec, token, rec cookies, auth token. Constant token, rec cookies dot get. Import parse from cookie. Verify the token using the secret or public key. All right. This is slightly different from the last time I did this, so that's fine. Because it just goes to show there are more than one way to do things, I guess. Because, yeah. All right, I'm just bouncing all over the place. I want to do this one again. I'm going to paste this. How to verify .NET Auth Web API bearer token is valid in Next.js application that is using cookies via middleware. Jose? Twit verify from Jose. That's a new thing. I didn't even know that was a thing. Cookies, use to parse cookies from request. I already have cookie. Create a middleware file in the root of your Next.js project. Alright, got that. Alright, so how close is this? Const request.headers. This is slightly different from what I did. But I do got the Drush secret. Auth is the location that we're going to redirect to. So if we got auth token, I mean, const cookies, parse cookies. I don't know. This is different. I mean, I don't. But it's not using. Oh, it is using rec. It is using rec. Rec.headers.get. I have rec.cookies.get. Configure them in order to apply the specific routes. Now I did that. That's down here, matcher. Next response.redirect. And that's the login page. Redirect to login if token is invalid. Alright, so they're using rec.headers.get. I'm using rec.cookies.get. How come is that? How come that's different? If auth token, well, that's just the auth. Yeah, that's just my token. Cookies parse cookies. That is so weird. Verify bearer token issued by .NET Web API and stored in a cookie within a Next.js application using middleware. You follow these steps. First, install the required dependencies. I still think that Jose is weird. But, auth token secret. All right, let's copy this code and see what it does. The only difference I need to do, actually, I don't want to copy all this code. I only need, we'll try the try catch portion of this. Copy. We're going to stick this up here. It's just basically the same. It just added some stuff. But I don't know why it's much more complex than the one I got before. That's why I'm trying to see, here's my validation of the token. Response, await fetch. So this one's a lot smaller. See, this is my middleware here. Token rec cookie.get. Validate the token, same as before. Oh, okay. So we're doing the validate token. I didn't put the validate token here. This is in the middleware though. I'm gonna use this one. I don't know what I did different, but I like this one better. Seems more succinct. The other one was weird. All right, so this one's going to do the verify, right? So we're going to validate the token. We pass the token in, and it goes to my API. See, it's going to go await fetch API validate. See, here's the problem. I don't have an API that is, there's no validate on my API. I don't know what they're talking about. Okay, so that may not work because I don't have a validate. But I feel like I could have a validate. That's the thing. I don't know what the difference between validate and verify, but because see, all right, so I have my code. I have my code here, and I added this validation bit, right? Token validation parameters equals new, blah blah blah. We're gonna pass in. We're gonna tie it in with a key. Validate audience. Validate issuer. I don't know if any of this is gonna work, to be honest. I mean, I don't know if am I verifying. Do I need to verify it against the app or in the API, or can I just verify it over here? In which case, if I'm doing it over here, do I call back to the validate function? I'm gonna go here. Add token validation to my .NET web .NET Auth web API token validation. How about endpoint? Adding authentication authorization made easy. .NET authentication with identity and web API with bearer token. Use identity. Validating an access token in my ASP.NET web. You are using it. Yeah, that guy don't help me any. Alright, let's go back to Google. Or not Google, let's go back to ChatGPT. Type in the same question. Add token validation endpoint to my how about bearer token? Bearer token validation endpoint to my .NET Auth web API. Set it up. Brrr. Create a token validation endpoint. Alright, here you go. Next, create a controller with an endpoint that validates the bearer token. So it's a controller. Now there's not one already, but I know there are other controllers. So if I go, this is my AMG authorized. Okay, so I have controllers. I only have the weather forecast one though. API controller. Route controller. You can test the validate token endpoint by sending GET request to API auth validate token with a valid bearer token in the authorization header. For example, if the token is valid, you'll receive a 200OK customized token validation logic. If you need custom validation logic, you can implement it within the validate token method or by customizing the token validation parameters. This setup provides a straightforward way to validate bearer tokens within your .NET 8 Web API. All right. So we got my namespace. I could guess I could just create. I got that route and the API controller inverted, but if this is the controller, get weather forecast, get. What's the method? What's the method? I want the auth controller base. iAction validate token. So they have an okay. I mean, I guess I just go create a new controller, but it just seems where does it think this is? That's my problem. API controller, right? It says it's under controller and this is under controllers, but I don't have, it's not under API. The route is not API controller, it's just controllers, right? And then if I put it under the same route, controller, it must be what? Controller and then weather forecast controller. It's called public class weather forecast controller base. Oh, so it's auth controller. All right, so it is under controller, but the controller base is let's say a validate token. All right, so I'm just trying to figure out what the total name of this is going to be. I'm going to go like this. And since we have a public class, let's go add a new controller. Solution, controller, add. I guess it's just a razor component, right? Oh, it's class. Okay, add new item. New folder, cookie cutter, client-side library, a new class. There we go. And we'll just say token validation. Token validation control. Just for happy naming conventions. And then the public class, I'm going to go like this. We're going to copy all this. Copy. We're going to put it right there. And I'm not going to put it under API because I don't know why that is there. It could just be under controllers. I don't care. I'm not worried about the high levels. I mean, I guess I could do API and then. I mean, I don't have the other stuff under API. It's like, I guess I could just to define it as API. But, oops, too many slashes. Okay, so that's pretty much it. HTTP GET validate token. I'm going to call it, I don't know if I want it to be called that, validate token. How about just validate? Or I could call it token validate. But, you know, I think simple is simple. I mean, we know what we're doing, right? It's an API. We're going to validate it. Validate token. That's happy campery. Token is valid. Wait a minute. This doesn't do anything. This is an endpoint, but I did create this stuff. Replace your audience secret key with your actual values. Next, create a controller with an endpoint that validates the bearer token. But is there actually a validate? That's weird. How do I know that this is connected to anything? This doesn't look like it's doing anything. API controller, validate token. If we reach here, the token is valid. So action result validate token is actually going to do something? How do we know it's going to do anything? I don't see any reference to this page at all. I don't know. H, authorization, bearer, your token. Do I even have curl installed? I don't even know I have curl installed. Does this do anything? Let's go see. There should be an endpoint for this. In theory, Swagger should have picked it up, right? Isn't that kind of what Swagger does? Maybe. Oh, look, there it is. Validate. Oh, we got this guy trying to sell me stuff. All right. So there is a validate, but I don't know what that's going to do. It does have OK. If we call it, if I try it out, nothing's going to happen, and I can't even pass a valid token. Response headers, response status 401. Oh, wait, does that have to be, oh, it has to be authenticated? I don't want it to be authenticated. Did I actually say that? Why does that have to be an authentication token? Do you have to be logged in to verify it? No, you don't need to be logged in for that. Right? I don't think so. I mean, I should be able to validate any token without logging in. I mean, of course, it makes sense that if you're not logged in, your token's not going to work, right? It's like your token's not going to work because you're definitely not currently functional. See, this is saying, see, it doesn't do anything. This is not asking for me to pass the token. I have an endpoint for it. I have the request for it, but it doesn't actually work for it. This doesn't do anything except say return. You can now test the validate token endpoint by sending a GET request. How do I do the validation? In the there we go. Now they're actually giving me the code I need. Allow anonymous makes more sense, right? Because why would I authorize? Because I'm just going to validate the token. It doesn't matter where it's coming from. But I mean, I guess I see why you would want to be. I mean, if you're not logged in, if you're not logged in, why would you need to validate a token? The token's not going to work because it's just going to say, yeah, this is not valid because I don't see any proof that you're even logged in. But we're going to do allow anonymous. All right, so I got API controller, controller base. It's interesting though that what it doesn't tell me is if you go to the UI here, API auth validate. So if it's API controller, this ain't API auth weather forecast. Where is auth coming from? Where is the auth part of that API? So controller, is it? Oh, is it the name of my file? No. Token validation controller. That is not. So this is exactly the same name, but somehow we got auth. This is called API auth validate, but there is no auth in my route. So it did work. It created my endpoint. So now I know how to create an endpoint. So I just go to the controllers, add it in, put in a route, type what it is, but somehow there is something calling it auth. Do you see anything around here calling it auth? The word auth. How does that even appearing in my controller? Is that simply because it's part of this authentication? Because this is route controller. API controller, route controller, controller base, weather forecast, controller base, energy authorize. And if I look side by side, I'll say new vertical document. All right, so we're going to look at that one. I'm going to look at this one. So how, I know it's weird, API controller and route controller and route controller. This is just API / controller. So how come this is, where is this getting API auth? Where is the auth portion of this route coming from? Maybe I didn't reload it. Let's restart this. Something's funky. Did I cut auth out? I think I cut auth out, and I don't think that it just I think it just didn't rebuild the link. Nope, it's still there. API auth validate. I thought I cut auth out, but apparently I did not. I don't know where the auth part of that path is. I feel like I should know the identification of that path. How is the route being defined as auth? Because it's just API controller here. And if there's an auth piece, I mean, this doesn't even prove that it's attached to authentication. I mean, it says auth controller, public class auth controller, but that's just because I named it auth. Oh, is it? Oh, I did not know that. Interesting. Okay. Ah, so the name before controller is considered part of the thing, so it's API auth. And then the function is validate. Ah. So I bet if I took, it'd be silly to do this, but if I called this like auth, I don't know, validation controller, validation controller. Oh wow, this is weird. I've never seen something that just like used part of a class name as part of the. That is interesting. Okay. Huh. Wow, see, I'm definitely learning something new. Is that really what's happening? All right, let's hit save on this. Then we're going to do a hot reload. Rebuild and apply changes. All right. I bet you that's what it is. I bet you. Is me learning something. Yep, see, it's auth validation. Validate. Now, I'm not going to do that because it's stupid. But, yeah, that's weird. So, AMG authorize, I have auth validation. API. I mean, I could just call it public class controller and not have any name for it, and then it would just be API, or I can say API controller. And then it would just be, yeah, if I just called it controller with no name, huh. And then gave it validate as the thing, so it would just be, can I put a, what if I put in, can I put a comment here? And just say, portion of class name prior to controller will be included as part of route. Huh. That's just my learning note. Portion of class name prior. Okay. Huh. All right. So now when we have the route, we have API. I could take this out, I bet, just call it controller, in which case it would not show up at all, I'd imagine, and then it would just be API. But I have to have a get. That's actually the method. So that's the validate. I feel like it's just too many. Do I need API then? I'm just going to call it controller. And then I don't need this piece then. I mean, really, do I need it to say API? Yeah, I'm calling an API. Because my other parts aren't API. That's the thing. I guess it's just trying to decide, should all of my API routes be prefixed with API just to show that it's an API? It could be. Token, what if I call it a token controller? Then it'd be API / token / validate. And then I can do other token things like, I don't know. What else would I do to it? Add stuff to it, load extra pieces into the token. I don't know. Sometimes I overthink things. You got to analyze things before you just implement, right? You can't just start slapping stuff in. Some people do just slap stuff in. I've seen it happen many times. I've worked with coders that do that. They just go, they just start typing. Whatever works, whatever the first thing in their head. And then I'm the guy who's looking at it going, well, why did you do this or that? Why is that? I mean, why is that lousy name? I don't know. It's just what I used. That's the name I came up with. Just get the job done. Oh, I know, but is it the best? Okay, so let's assume. All right, so let's go. Not assume. Let's not assume stuff, because assuming stuff, you know what it does. You know what it does. So I got the validation endpoint here. In which case, I need to go here, and this is the one: extract and validate the token. So I'm going to get the token. They call auth controller. So it's API, auth, and then we got validate token. I'm getting pulled into the auth bit. If it's always going to be that, and then I have auth control. I'm right back to stage one. Validate, and then should I say validate token? Validate. Fine, whatever, validate token. All right, so we're going to go here. We got API. We're going to take pretty much all of this stuff that they did, because it's message key. I'm going to have to put some, I'm going to have to update this stuff, obviously, but we're going to go copy. And we're going to put all this stuff right in here. Auth controller base. All right, so we'll do that. Okay, so what this appears to be doing is obviously it's getting my my parameters that I pass, which is going to be the token, I'd imagine, token string. So it should ask for whatever my token validation parameters are, auth controller. And then it's going to go ahead, and here's my validate token. There's my token string that this is the parameter, and this is just the token parameter. And then we're going to go here. We're going to check to see if I have a valid token. Did I send it? Hopefully I did. And then we're going to go here, dwit security token handler. Now I have to get my secret key. My secret key is part of configuration, which is going to be, I think it's in my program file here. the root key. We're going to go, what do I want? Builder.configuration, this little bit. I'm going to copy that puppy. And then we're going to go over here. And we're going to plug that guy right in here. Oh, can I not do that? Oh, how do I reference? Dang it. How do I reference configuration from, do I have to add the builder or, no, I should. Oh, dang it. ChatGPT, how do I do that? How do I mean, do I just, I shouldn't have to, the builder is only referenced during program.cs, right? You wouldn't reference builder in other places. That doesn't make sense. I think it's probably, how do I reference configuration in .NET Blazor controller? ASP.NET Core Blazor configuration. App settings configuration. Page title configuration. At configuration. That's a Razor page, though. I need it in a controller. Program file. Maybe I have to just use Microsoft Extensions configuration like that. And then I go async. Build. It is builder. Modify existing HTTP client existing. The preceding example sets the base address with builder. Memory configuration. Obtain section of configuration C# code. Blah, 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 blah. Configuration to get section. That's if you have like wheels and then wheels have rims and whatever else. You got to pull the extra parts. I don't want the whole section. I just want the ID. And the program file. So these are all doing this in program file. Host builder configuration. Controller file. Alright, this is not what I want. I need to do it in a controller file. These are all in program file. Builder is in program file. That's JSON. Program file, yeah. So can you not reference the configuration? Reference configuration value within controller page of .NET, how about .NET 8 Web API. Learn how to use configuration API to configure app settings. How to access a value from app settings.json. Well, that's probably where it's at, so I could just do that. Maybe there's a trick that I'm missing. Maybe I don't use config. Config. Oh, here we go. Connect underscore config. Config. Oh, the configuration. Configuration is private read. I figured out how to access app settings JSON from a controller using iConfiguration interface. The connection string in this case was the parameter inside JSON file, followed successfully in my absence. Alright. You will need to use .get value type, so try summary equals get value. I mean, that's fine, but what am I? This is not showing me the. Can I? Is iConfiguration just a straight up thing and I can call? I can call that? Well, I guess let's try it. Let's find out. So we're in here trying to do this. So we're going to go Let's just see what happens. Private. No. Cannot do private right there? Oh, it must be a constant up at the top. It's outside of my method. Let's go private. Private. Read only. Configuration underscore config.
Incoming call from 425.
Probably crap, but I gotta answer every phone number unless somebody might want to give me a job. This can. Hello? Holy moly, these people, they just keep calling me, trying to buy my house. I keep telling them I have no desire to sell, but they keep calling me anyway. And I block them. I call them and I block them and I call them and I block them and I call them and they call me and I block them. They must have like 1,000 potential numbers and I just block them over and over. And they just, I'm calling about your property. Calling about your property. You want to buy your property? I should just say, yes, 5 million cash in hand. It's yours. House is worth less than $1 million, but that'll get them off my case. I probably would settle for 1.5. To be honest, if somebody actually wanted us to move that bad, I'd probably move for 1.5 or 2 million cash in hand. But I know they won't buy it for that, so you know, it's this way because they're trying to get some cheap, hoping you'll like, you know. You'll be desperate. Oh, I need to sell my house now, man. I need to lose all kinds of money. Hundreds of thousands if possible, please. If I could lose a few $100,000, that'll make me feel better. Mm-hmm. All right, so we got config in here. Give myself a semicolon. And like a little space. And then, let's just go here. Underscore config. What if I go underscore config, do like he says here, dot get value? And it is a string, right? Oh, theirs is a parenthesis though. I feel like maybe I don't need to do. Let's do it the way it was. I think it worked. It seemed cleaner. And that's what he's got here. So, I mean, that means it's better. Oops. I'm going to need another bracket. All right, so this can be another one of those that could be null. Possible null reference. Yep. I don't understand that, to be honest. So how come he's got configuration config, and then you got config equals configuration, which is coming from home controller? Do I really have to pass configuration in? Will it not work if I do this? What's this? Consider declaring the field as nullable. What if I do this? What is this going to do? Sure, let's do that. That looks cleaner. So basically, you're able to set it right up here. That's nice. Works for me. All right. So where are we? And this is just the one that's going to be nullable. Assuming that this is going to have any value in it. I don't know if it will. Read only I configuration. I could create this config. That config is not set though, right? Read only I configuration. But if I set it to read only, then I shouldn't be able to set it, even though he comes down here and that's exactly what he does. Private read only config, and then it says config equals configuration. The connection string in this case was the parameter inside JSON file showed successfully. I have to say. I really recommend that you will need a separate class to handle all the database communications if it is the case. Otherwise, it works well. Hope it helps someone. All right, well, I'm skipping this step. I probably should not. So let's go ahead and put that in there. We're going to go underscore because I feel like it is not. See, there is no configuration. So I feel like I'm missing a declaration, a using value. Does he have a using up here? He does not. Does not have a using. Oops. Config equals. No, see, that doesn't work. Dang it! I don't think this is going to work because config is not set. It just says I configuration underscore config, but that doesn't define it. And configuration is not an object. So he got this, which is what I'm doing. Get my key back. How is it defined here? Builder, it's part of the builder, it's configuration within builder, but I shouldn't be creating that inside of a controller. Private read only, logger configuration. C equals he didn't even spell it right. Look at configuration radio. How did this work for him? I don't think that worked for him. Not without changing this radio configure radio to an N. See, he called it config. That's fine, but configuration get value. Project name, which is all fine, but This guy got it working. He put this piss. But I don't understand this because that's not a thing. So without a using, there's no way that works. I don't know how he would get that. But what is the using? What is the method I'm calling? That all right. Well, I'm gonna put it in, and maybe underscore use. Oh, config equals configuration. See, and it's just gonna. Oh, it is it's just. See, it doesn't know what to do with that. The name configuration does not exist in the current context. But there is nothing else. Oh, it's because of the method. Oh, he's passing in iConfiguration. Oh, so do I have to pass it into my controller? How do I pass it in? How would I? So do I have to say something like, comma, I configuration, I configuration, config, and then I can go here and just type config. Underscore config is not null here. It says config is not null here. How is it not null? A read-only field cannot be assigned to which field is defined or a variable initialized. Alright, so I'm a little discombobulated here. So it's like I said, read-only can't, I even said that a second ago, you can't assign to a read-only. How is he assigning to a read-only here? Because he's got private read-only iConfiguration underscore config, and then he promptly tries to set this read-only value with this value, which shouldn't be possible, which it isn't. It's not so. It shouldn't allow that. It says, well, it's available if it's null, right? If it starts off null, it should work, but it's saying here that it would not be null. It's saying that it would not be null, because if I go here, it says config is not null here. So I shouldn't have to. All right, let's see what happens. Let's just take this out for a minute. We'll take this and we'll go, all right. I'm going to comment that out. Let's go at least see what my code wants to do here. Let's look at it. First of all, I got to make sure I have all of my information, my other information right. So I got my token here, security token. I should be able to get a token, and it should work. So we're going to find out. Big drum roll, please. Ugh. So when I first write it without a password, it's going to complain, or without a token, it's going to complain that I don't have. Oh wait, did I call it validate token? I did. Oh, I don't want to call it validate token. I hate that name. Let's go try it out. So now this should say token required. Blah 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 blah. Error response status is 500. For your attempting to activate AMG authorized controller. Accept user deflate. Fetch test. Curl, let's see, validate token. Request URL, validate token. Response header. It doesn't actually say what the problem is, it just says response status is 500. Unable to resolve service for type Microsoft identity model tokens.validate token parameters while attempting to activate authorized controllers.auth controller. Oh, I don't know what that means. What are you saying, man? What are you saying? I don't get it. Let's see, it did not like something here. Non-null field config must contain a non-null value when existing constructor. Consider declaring the field as nullable. Is that what I gotta do? How do I do that? Is it a question mark? Nope, that's not it. Is it? Alright, well, if I'm going to redo this, let's call it validate token. Why can't this be the same name as that? Let's just say validate. I want to call this validate. I feel like it. I feel like it, man. Alright, so I'm going to go back to here and go I config, and we're going to go config, and we're going to go ahead and allow this. Oh. I thought I did it. Config maybe null here. Oh, well, that's fine. So I'm setting it to something. Alpha cannot be assigned. Well, hopefully it's null. I don't know. It's kind of a... That's a problem now. Your read-only field cannot be assigned to, except in a constructor or in a init setter. Okay, so whatever this guy's doing, it's not possible. He's doing this broken nonsense. It says 1 year, 11 months, almost 2 years ago. Whatever's happened, whatever he tried to do here, is not working. So I'm gonna go to ChatGPT. Let's go. Let's see what ChatGPT says. ChatGPT.com. We're gonna go over here. We're gonna go. Hey ChatGPT, help me again. All right. So how to reference, let's just say app settings.json value in a .NET web API controller page. Here's how your configuration is set up. Usually configured by default. Access the configuration in the controller. To access a value from SMD, you can inject iConfiguration into your controller using Microsoft Extensions configuration. Okay, so let's just try that. Let's go. This is the using I was looking for one thing. So let's just do that. And we're going to go here. Add that because the guy didn't have it on his list. So we're going to go there. And then he goes your controller, I configuration, config. But he's not doing the, oh, he's doing the private read-only I configuration here also. I don't know. But Microsoft. I mean, yeah, all right, so we got interface controllers. Is this supposed to be maybe outside of the class? No? Or in the controller class, public class, blah, 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 controller base. I configuration, private read only, underneath that, public, your controller, which is what I've got here. Then my HTTP GET, which is underneath. Accessing a value from a So can I just do what if I do this? Comma I configuration config. Then I go here and say equals config, and then don't do this. And don't do this. Because this is like, I feel like this is going to work. Or at least, it's not complaining yet. So that's a start. Because I notice here it separates the controller from the GET, right? So we have the GET, which iAction result is right here. They didn't actually put this in the iAction result. I think somehow they were putting it beside the, what's it called? The constructor. And it was saying earlier that I don't need to have this constructor, which is normally where that would be, but I can do it within the public classes root constructor. So I don't need to actually create another constructor page. So let's see what happens. So far so good, no error. So something's happening. All right, so we got API auth validate. We're basically validating their authentication, which is by way of passing in the token. First error I get should only be the fact that I don't have a token. Which it is not. I'm still having an issue. Because the errors say it should be getting here to token required. We're having an issue with just even getting to here. See, I'm not even triggering anything. All this just to see if I can get this to validate. Oh, we're calling it. Something's happening. But it's not telling me what the error is. It just says Nope. I mean, it's telling me this. Unable to resolve service for type blah 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 tokens of validation parameters while attempting to activate auth controller. Which is kind of cryptic. It's registered in the dependency injection container. Typically, it is configured when set up authentication using JSON Web Tokens. Here's how to register token validation parameters in your program.cs. I have the token I have that though. It's right here, token validation parameters. Oops, what the heck? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Yeah. Oh, did I not register them? Because builder.services.add singleton. Yeah, I didn't do this step. Alright, let's take that. Let me actually keep the comment so I know what it's doing. Man, there's so many parts that you have to add. So, I mean, this earlier, so I have to register it. So I'm creating the validation parameters. But wow, this is like a lot of stuff, man. All right. This is way more. I'm telling you, Blazor's authentication setup is way more complicated. API. The API. I don't know. Maybe it just. I mean, I don't know. This is way more complicated than what, right? Because I didn't actually do this in the other one. I actually did do authentication in using Supabase, and it was so much less complicated. Look, I'm going to show you what the Supabase authentication is. Now, this was, to be fair, this is set up for just basic connection authentication. So there was, if there's even a cookie involved, I don't know. I'm sure there is a cookie of some kind, but it's just so many less lines. I mean, look at all the stuff. Basically, everything this is doing is all this whole bit, right? You got all this. It was a lot less. I mean, all you did is basic steps. You go get the stuff, you validate the stuff. That's it. So when I open up this, all right, so we're at the Dojo help desk here. So this is the sampling I got from there. So here's my middleware. And remember, everything that I'm doing in React right now is also being done here. So it's two bits, right? So we've got the middleware just makes these call to the sessions. Then that's all it does. There's nothing here. This is like matcher, whatever I'm trying to apply to. The app didn't really have that many things, so I didn't have anything in there yet. But we've got the middleware update auth session and update session. Now in here we have this utils. This middleware is actually the one that's doing most of the work. So we've got update session. It's all very simple. Next response, next request, get the headers. That's it, nothing. Then we have the server and the client authentication. We got create browser client and the server client. And this one does a little bit more, but again, it's just reading the cookies. So not a lot is actually happening in most of this stuff, right? So we've got this auth, we got login, which is the login page, which I had developed in the other one. So to be fair, that's the same thing. Um, or, you know, same basic thing. I got an email, password, blah, blah, blah. We go through here. We got a login. We call the login page, which is going to go do its thing. But again, there's just not that much code for any one individual step. I mean, even the verify is pretty small, right? Auth layout, create client. Again, we have very few calls to any of this stuff. Simple stuff. If there, we have this route. So this is, we've got a few steps where we're going to go do the search param, get the token, create the client, verify OTP. Not a lot of code. I mean, this is everything, including the page, including the verify, including the everything. And it just seems a lot less convoluted. Now, granted, this is all in one page, and it's doing way more things, and maybe I'll need it to do more things. I don't know, but it just feels like it's over-engineered. I don't know. Same thing. Didn't work. I'll run it. I'll reload it. Maybe that's the problem. It needs to be reloaded. Because really, I expect it to not give me a generic blow-up error. Should tell me there's no. Oh, okay. So something's happening here. Curl response status. Okay, so we're getting something that looks a little bit more usable. One or more validation errors occurred. The token field is required. Okay, so we've moved past that. So now we can actually provide a token. So now let's go get a token. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. So we're going to go up here and log in. And we're going to say try it out. And then I'm going to open up my handy dandy one notebook. And then we're going to go here, copy my email password, put it right in here for simple. And then I'm going to hit execute. So this should give me a bearer token. Voila, bearer token. Alright, so we're going to take this guy. And then we're going to go down here, and we're going to find out if there's a couple things I have questions on, right? I'm passing in this bearer token. The token is supposed to be able to be verified. Problem I'm having with this mentally is that I don't know that is this bearer token getting is the secret key being applied? Oh, we got past that. We got this, and then we got the token. We do have a key. My key is system of model token. Okay. Token type. All right, well, let's keep going. We got an exception. Must have 3 segments, JWS, or 5 segments, JWE. The exception was originally thrown at this call stack. Break. So it's going to say it's a bad token. So simply passing in that token, which means I don't know what this means. JSON web token must have 3 segments or 5 segments. So was it, what was the format of the token? So what, I think maybe I have to pass in some information here, some extra information that I may have missed, because it did something like, it said you can test this. Right, maybe not. No, I don't have anything left in it, so I could probably get rid of that one. Wait, what? How to reference app settings value. That's not the one I want. Conclusion. JSON. What is it? Configuration API. Of an authentication web API. Examples. Using curl. Username, password. Token-based authentication using curl. How do I determine the authentication configuration and my... that's not... I don't... What is that? Let's delete that. Oh, I see what the problem is. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Use get server-side prompts, cookies, token, summary, does not exist, install the required package, import namespace, JWBR authentication. Here's the problem, I'm having too many questions. Can't find my, here we go, testing the endpoint. There it is, finally. Okay, so it's explanation of the code. Token validate. Validate token. Testing the endpoint. Validate token example. Okay, so that doesn't look like multiple parts, does it? If you extract the token from the authorization header, handling unauthorized requests, 401 unauthorized. Dash, if you extract the token from the authorization header, authorization bearer your token. Validate token equals your Draught token. All right. Kind of stumped here. All right, so let's go over to my C# code, or not C# code, but to my my app, and then we'll just go here. We'll create a new new terminal. I want a bash terminal. Okay, so we're going to use this. Assuming I have it's not giving me the hint. What was it called? That's not what I'm looking for. I made it too long of a name. Would have been easier if I had not done that, but I did. So, whatever. Okay. Now we're going to copy this. Token equals invalid token. Oh, I don't want to try that. I want to try a valid token. Sheesh. Gotta love that. Okay, so oops. All right, got to go back over to my page. And we're going to copy this token. Because apparently this is not, I don't have any particular reason to believe this is going to do anything. But I'm just trying it because you can't throw it out the window till you know for sure that it's wrong. Oops, wrong. Alright, so we got your API URL, API auth validate, and yep. And then we got to put token equals, and then my draw token. Okay, so is it? All right, we're gonna go right in there. All right, and then can I actually do this? Will it let me change? This is why. Oh God! All right, you know what? It's so hard to edit lines in the terminal. I'll put it over in my notebook. Alright, so this will be a lot easier. Now I can put in my, what do you call it? My path, which is this guy. And we'll put it in right where it belongs. Yeah, I know, it's not a valid thing. I accidentally clicked it, took it as a link, and then I was stuck with it. Now I have to delete this because I don't want to run this. I mean, I guess I could do this. It'll probably just blow up. Because it's not even a valid path. Oops, did I do that? I did. What am I doing, man? Got a few too many HTTPS's on here. Alright, let's try again. Stop it! You can't delete stuff. Ah. There, that worked. It didn't say, it didn't do anything. It just said, I don't even know what it did. It didn't return any values. It didn't do anything. That's not what I was expecting, for sure. I am a little stumped now, because this guy is not. Message must have 3 segments. I don't. All right, let's go. Let's do this. Copy. I don't know what the segments are. Maybe I don't understand how I probably have to format it in a special way. It says 3 segments. I don't know what that means. A typical header payload signature. Malformed token. The token you are working with might be incorrectly formatted or incomplete. Incorrect token parsing. The application may be receiving or parsing the token incorrectly. For example, splitting on the wrong character or mishandling the token before parsing. Accidental spring. If the token is manipulated or truncated or altered, it might lose its correct structure. So it's not an issue of the token being broken or of the token being wrong. It's an issue of it doesn't know what to do with it, because it's just showing me a token. It doesn't follow this format. I don't even know what that format is. I can't see nothing here but a bunch of blah, 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 blah. Oh, it does show dots. Is there dots in my token? Is there actually? Because it does have a period there. And there's a period there. So that's a 3-form token, JWS, right? Header, payload, signature. Mine does not have any periods in it. But I think the I am confused. Hey, Iomide Adulola. Adelua. Adelua. Sorry, I don't want to butcher your name. I'll just call you Iomide. Is that all right? Or is that? Hopefully that's okay. Your last name I don't quite cut, but hello. How you doing, man? I am struggling with this, trying to get my. Don't laugh at me. I'm trying. I'm struggling to get my validation step. I want to validate my token. I'm passing my token in, and I'm trying to get it to work, obviously, but it's not. It's like refusing to accept it. It says it doesn't like it, and like I said, one of the things. Oh, cool! Thank you, man. I appreciate it. One of the things I've noticed here is that this feels wrong. Like if I go over to program here, I was trying to do a validation, but notice how this is using a JWT. I'm kind of thrown off JSON web token when this is a bearer token, right? But apparently I don't even, I've heard of it. I don't know what it is. I've heard of Black Box AI. That came from somewhere. So I don't know. I don't remember where I heard it, but I don't know. Plus, if it's a pay for thing, I'm definitely not using it because everything I use, I own. But oh, you're talking about instead of like Chat GPT? Oh, I don't know. ChatGPT works great. I don't have a problem with ChatGPT's been giving me all kinds of answers, which is very helpful. But it comes down to, I guess, asking the right questions. And I think that might be part of my problem. Maybe I may be asking the wrong questions. So, all right, so here's the current problem. I am trying to implement. All right, so I am trying to get I've got my code. I got my code reaching out to my API, my .NET API. It gets back a token. That's a good place to start for HTML or for a website development. But I'm trying to get a little further into the weeds with like Blazor and React, which they use HTML and CSS as part of them, but they're a little bit more what do you call it? Coding powerful. The way they set up is they use controllers and such, and different apps. They kind of come at it a slightly different direction. I'm trying to learn them. I know HTML pretty well. I know CSS well enough. And I am using, but I'm trying to use Blazor and React for my front end stuff, which, like I said, integrates HTML and some format of CSS. I'm actually using Tailwind in my VS Code for my CSS stuff. Which again is just me. I have to learn that. Just another tool to use and learn. It helps, gives you a little bit more functionality, but you got to kind of learn what all the key codes are, to make it, to get the most out of it. So I'm learning all that. But anyway, my current task is trying to get an authorization app to work on my website so that I can go out, validate my page, come back in, and go, okay, well, my page is validated. Hey, so and so, thanks for logging in, and then go about the rest of the page. So that's what I'm working on. Validation is a pain in the butt, though. Authorization, sorry, authentication, and then of course the validation and authorization that comes with it. But I got the API working. I mean, I have that fully working here. That's what this is. I can log in. I can register a user on my API. I got the key back, and I'm trying to pass that key into my app, but it's saying, blah, it's not right. So it's throwing it back at me and going, you doofus head, that's not what I wanted. So I'm in here now. I got the token back. I get the key, and it's supposed to break it up. Token validation parameters dot issuer signing key equals. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. I may have the wrong value here. Hold on. Hold on. Issuer signing key is the key. Wait a minute. Is that the wrong thing? Let's go to my user secrets. No. No, that's the key. Never mind. I got the right key. So I got the key. Oops, I don't want the whole app. I just wanted that page. Alright, here we go. Sorry about that. Took my app off the screen there. Okay, so now are you doing this in, are you like doing an online course? Or are you actually going to college for that stuff? How are you learning your coding then? It's hard. It's hard. It's a hard industry. I'll tell you, tech industry is was it dog eat dog? There are so many people out there, and the thing is, so many jobs want years of experience at everything. They want their 5 different what do they call it? Their language stack, software stack, could be React, Node.js, and Supabase. It could be Angular and Node.js and SQL Server. It could be Blazor and Blazor backend with SQL Server or Cosmos DB or MongoDB. I mean, there's so many combinations of the software stack that these companies are using, and they all say, "Hey, we need 5 years of experience in everything." And it's just like you're trying to find the common denominator, the things that most of the people want. It's always most because it's never all. SQL Server, excellent. Because the nice thing about knowing SQL Server is that it hasn't changed. I mean, it's changed, it's updated, added features, but it's basically the same thing. If you know SQL Server well, you know how to write stuff in SQL Server database, you're good for all the jobs that want SQL Server. I mean, you're probably good if they'll call you, because they may never call. That's my problem. I know SQL Server, but that's not enough, right? I know C#, but I know C# .NET Framework, and C# is one of those many things that over the years just changed completely. C# with .NET Framework is basically toss it out. You know C# syntax, but the current things are MVC, .NET Code, and Blazor, and all of the latest stuff. And then your front end stuff is rarely Windows UI stuff. It's mostly web UI stuff, React, Angular, Vue. And then you got your databases, which aren't always SQL. Sometimes they're Cosmos, Mongo, Supabase, and some companies are still using Oracle. Apparently Oracle's doing just fine. I don't know who uses Oracle, but I've seen jobs for Oracle. And I say, really? Oracle's still thinking? I never see, there's just not that many postings for Oracle. But the big things are always the smaller ones, Cosmos and Mongo and other Postgres database. Some of them just say Postgres because Supabase is a Postgres database. And so it's hard to learn all the different things. So all I can say, man, is get really good and do not let your skills get old. So if you get a job, make sure your company keeps up with the tech, because 20 years from now, the tech you know now is going to be totally different. And you're going to have, and if something happens and your company goes under or gets bought out or just has to cut back and you're a victim, you're going to go looking for work and they're going to be going, we don't use that stuff no more. And that's what I'm struggling with right now. I'm in they don't use that stuff no more, or at least not the exact stuff. And I need to get back to work. Can't be going without work this long, so, you know, my unemployment's not going to last forever. So back to task. Hopefully I'll know all about, or at least have a very good familiarity with how authorization stuff works once I'm through this. I just jump off the trail. My brain right now is going, it's 5 o'clock. Should I be eating something? You know, I work out quite a bit, so I got to make sure I'm eating enough protein. And so I have this thing going in the back of my head. You should probably eat some food. Ken, you should probably eat something. So I'm not really hungry. So I'm arguing with myself in the back while I'm talking about my coding. So it's like, stop it. All you guys, be quiet. No, I don't have a bunch of voices in my head. I do argue with myself sometimes, but no, I don't. Usually. Sometimes everybody gets arguing, and I'm just like sitting back going, oh man. So that's why I suddenly will stop for a minute and go, are you guys done? I have to get back to work here. I laugh because it's probably not it's probably not a funny condition for people who actually have voices in their head, but it's implication, I guess. Joe, quiet. No. All right, I'm getting off the trail again. I'm getting off. I do that. I jump the tracks. Let's get back to work, or try to. The problem I've had is I take this token, I put it in, it says it's the wrong format. I know that I have the key. I get the key back, and I go, all right, issuer signing key, symmetric security key. Then at some point it blows up. It's not reading the token correctly, which tells me a couple of different things. If I click on this, and then I go, where does it blow up exactly? I think it's blowing up like right here, to be honest. If I hit F5. Nope, it blew up before that. It blew up maybe on my handler.validate token. Probably because this token parameter is wrong. Okay. So here's my token. And these are my token parameters. I don't know what I'd expect to see here, to be honest. Internal ID. Clock skew. I don't know what any of this. This is not going to help me any. It's nothing. There's nothing here that's telling me anything. Provider configuration clue. So yeah, I don't know. Name claims. Name role. It's just my validation parameters, but and that's the token. Validated token gets passed back. But it doesn't like my format of the token, which is exactly the token it gave me. Right here. So either that token is not imbued with the password, because I think that's the problem. It's trying to use the key to I don't know, what do you call it, decrypt it, and it's saying that that's not what it is, because I think once it's trying to decrypt it, it blows up, and that's why I'm trying to all right, let's do one more thing. Maybe I'm missing a step in here. Like I have the token add authentication to this, and I'm adding the validate issuer, audience, lifetime, true, configuration, audience, and then the key. But somewhere along the lines here, it's losing. I don't know that this is getting applied to my token. Right? So I feel like the token is getting generated and not actually getting encrypted, or not getting the key applied. That's all I can figure. Because why would it be having trouble? I'm having it read the token back. It's getting the key. The key is here. If the key is valid, it should have no trouble unencrypting the key. But it's saying no, it's the wrong format. But it's the wrong format because it can't, once it tries to apply the decryption, it's going I don't know what to do with this, because obviously I'm putting in the whole key. I mean, I copied the whole bit, and I've done it twice, so I know it's the right one. So we're going to go ahead and try and take I like ChatGPT for what it does. It's really good at giving me detailed answers. But I'll look at your black box. I'm curious what this is. Black box AI. I don't even know what that is. All right. Chat, black box AI, code generation, code chat, code search is the best AI model for code. Oh, is that so? Well, for one, is it expensive? Does it cost me money? Because if it costs me money, let's go see what this does. A VS Code extension. Ask Black Box AI anything. All right. I don't know. Like I said, ChatGPT's been really good in this set, but let's see how much. Let's see how much this compares. So here's my question: how to validate .NET 8 Auth API their token. And create, all right, with auth with validation endpoint. Auth API, auth web API bearer token with validation endpoint. There we go. All right, let's see how much better this is. I think that was a pretty good question. I mean, I think I phrased it pretty well. I feel like I did. Is this better than, well, here we go. I don't know that it's better than, they do give you some interesting side notes here. All right, install the required package. Yeah, well, I have that. See, they all use authentication just bearer, right? I mean, I do have that, but yeah, see, I have authentication drip bearer. I've already got this in here. Now they're using startup. See, that's already a sign to me that there's something off. I don't want to use it. I am using program.cs. How good is it? Here's an updated example. Okay, so here we go. Web application, create builder. This will tell me right now if we're on the right path. Okay, so we are. So they're doing this slightly different. I've got add authentication, which I've got. Add authentication options. We did do all of this stuff. See how much difference this guy is. Authority. Replace with your auth server URL. Okay. Well, Interesting, because I'm in the API. Why would I need to have the URL here? True. Options.audience, your audience, replace with your audience. I don't know what your audience would be, but whatever. I token validation parameters, options, token validation, options.token validation parameter equals new, yep, got that. Validate issuer, yes, I got all 4 of those. Now I have more than this. They're using, I mean, I have a issuer and audience which is set in a different spot, so it's probably just how they're doing it. They're setting it in different locations. They're doing the encoding, .utf-8 get bytes, your secret key. And that's putting the key in here. I'm actually using configuration so I can store it in my app settings. Okay, so builder.services, add controllers, which is going to create, oh, you know, I didn't even think about it. I wonder if I should have done this after I did that. I wonder if add controllers in its current position is why I didn't get that created on its own. I'm going to do something here. Control C. Just to see, because I feel like the controller should be applied to the items that you're doing. So I'm going to take this out. Because, right, if you're building the controllers, does sequence matter? I mean, it's just going to say yes, create. Because I haven't built the controllers, right? Until you do the build, until you do builder.build. But I think to be honest, I don't think the order of this stuff matters in the least. It's just about logic. Because you're just setting all the parameters of the builder. And then when you go builder.build, boom, that's when everything happens. Okay, so that's going to be the whole bit. So they have this. What is this? Why do I create args? They got builder.services, add authentication, which is here. But they got, okay, I have authentication scheme. I say they have, or whatever this thing is. What is that doing? Bearer default authentication scheme. Default challenge scheme. Default authentication. I don't know, how necessary is that? Because, I mean, this just says bearer default authentication scheme, but it doesn't say, it's not setting it to the defaults. I don't know that that's important or not, and I don't even know that this default challenge scheme equals default. So it's like you're putting that stuff in, but if it's using defaults, then why do I need to set it? It's just like, okay. I feel like it's unnecessary. But again, if things aren't working, I have to try whatever, right? Create a validation endpoint. Controller base. All right, so this is a different endpoint. So I got API controllers. Still have the out token validation controller. So I pass in the token. This is doing this differently. Maybe I'll try it their way. Let's stop this. I mean, it couldn't hurt. Mine didn't work. So, but this is taking it a totally different approach. So I still have the validate token, which I don't need to change the name. It's right here. I mean, they call it a validate token anyway. String token. Okay, so up to that point, it's the same. Except there's no configuration reference. Oh, I needed configuration reference. I put that in because I needed it. But he doesn't have this token validate parameters that I could see. Yeah, there's no token validate parameters here. what they're doing is in the try catch is this guy. So I'm going to take I don't know, this is weird. Alright, I'm going to take all this, copy it, and then we're going to put it, we're going to find out, this is, I'm trying, like I said, this is the black box AI, giving it a go. And seeing as my stuff didn't work here, I'm not going to over, because it, you know what, let's do this instead. I'm going to go like this. Comment that block. I don't know, I don't want to get rid of it completely. But it'll still be validate token. So everything that's inside of validate token API, I'm going to go to take back. Everything that is this try. Copy. Then we're going to go here. And paste that. Alright, so I got to put my secret key in here, which is going to be my config. Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. Let's just take that guy. Control C. Put it right here. And then we're going to take this key and we will put it right here. Why would it be null there? It's supposed to be. Cannot convert from byte to car. Oh, wait, what? What is the encoding there? Get bytes. What did I do up there? Encoding UTF-8.get bytes. Encoding UTF-8.get bytes. It's the same encoding. What are you talking about? Encoding UTF-8.get bytes. So it should be the same string because it's a var. Convert from byte. Oh, it's expecting that to be a string. Oh. Oh, it's doing a different symmetric. Oh, I see. Actually, I could just take this out. I don't need to encode it. I don't need to do that again. There we go. Okay, so I already have that. But beyond that, principal claims, you can also validate the claims here. New is valid class claims, is valid false, return, error message. Var claims equals principal dot claims. All right, let's wait a minute. We still got an error here. What's going on? Oh, never mind. Gotta remember my line termination characters. All right, what have we got? Let's go ahead and try it again, I guess. So this one's not using this token validation stuff. Token validation parameters at all. This one's just gonna go API controller, public class. token validation controller, which is what this is. But let's go like this. Shift and Control X. Oops, Control Z. And this one's not going to have. This one's not going to have this. And I don't need this either. Okay, so first opinion of what Black Box gave me versus what ChatGPT gave me. Now, granted, I did not give it the exact same question. Question's a little different, so it's possible it's slightly different. But I like this version better because it's simpler. But again, if my question had been exactly the same, I'd have to copy the exact same questions into ChatGPT and see what it gave me. But again, neither one of them has worked so far. I haven't ran this one. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. First of all, let's see if we get no errors. That'll be a nice start. Okay, so we have gotten past that piece. We are now fully running. We're going to go here. Still have a requirement of a token. So I should still get a failure of some kind. Because I didn't pass a token. Probably should have done a test for the token, because this one doesn't do a test for the token. I did notice that. It says try, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, there's no... I mean, I guess it could just blow up and go down here and say invalid or whatever. Really what it's doing is it's going, I don't know what to do, man. You didn't give me a, you didn't give me a token. It's like, I don't know, I'm confused. This is supposed to have a token. It's taking way long, that's what I'm saying. It's like, why is it taking this long? Can I hit cancel? Nope. Yeah, it's... oh, never mind. I have a break. Ignore me. Alright, what does it say? Response status 400. The token field is required. Okay, so it does have a thing in here. Where is that? Where's the error that says that? Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. It did it without me having to create that error. Huh. Alright, well, so now we're going to try it out again. But this time we're going to go get a token first. We're going to go here. We're going to try this out. We're going to go over to my thingamabobber. And then we're going to plug this in here into the thingamabobber. Hit execute. Now, this is the thing. If it's applying the token like it's supposed to, or it's applying the key to the token, I should be able to take this token oh, you know what? I need to take this quotes off of it, I think. Alright, so I got a token here. I should be able to take it down here and plop it in here. Now, I don't know if I need to type bearer or if I need to type any prefix to it because I don't know for sure. It just says it's a string. And let's see what it is. So We do get an error. It's also saying a malformed token. All right, so let's stop that. I am getting a malformed token error with the provided code. Format or is missing. I don't know, it's hard a few things in check. Token format, token encoding. Sure that the token are typically encoded base 64 URL encoding. If the token is not encoded correctly, it may not be parsed. Verify the token has a valid signature. The signature is the third part of the token. See, it's like this, it doesn't work, man. That's all I'm saying is it doesn't work. I'm providing the token. As is, I mean, as it comes out, but if it's encoded, I don't know. There's something weird about this. I've got all the same stuff on here, but it's saying it's malformed. It's like it's not even an issue of reading it. I wonder if this is... Here's my issue. Look, this doesn't have anything to do with this, right? Add swagger gen. Add security definition, OAuth 2. Parameter location header. Authorization type, security scheme type, API key. Security requirement operations filter. This is for the add swagger though. I shouldn't. This is just about creating all of the endpoints, which really shouldn't have any effect. Add endpoint API Explorer, which is the Swagger UI. But I don't think Swagger is my problem here. Add DB context. That's already there. Add authentication. I feel, I'm sorry, but I feel I feel like I'm gonna cry. Like this piece does not function with the way this bearer token is being created. It's like yeah, there's something weird. Something weird about this. I don't know what the answer is. Let's go. I'm going to create it. Let's see, add another chat. Can I add another chat? It just deletes the one I had. I was hoping it would just be another tab or something, but I guess not. Cleared me out. Can I go back? Oh, it did. Can I do this and go new tab? Send tab to your devices. Create QR. Huh. Nope. Screenshot. New chat. View history. Create agent. Playground. Code comment. Agents. Multiplayer. Capability science. I know it says .NET. You can validate a bearer token issued by authentication server, e.g. Azure Active Directory, Identity Server, etc., using authentication JWT bearer, which I have. Here's an example of how to validate a bearer token with a validation endpoint. Install the required package. I got that. I put that in. But this doesn't create the token the same. That's what's throwing me off. Oh, that's not even the right one. This is the updated one. I'm using program.cs. This is right. So it goes down here and it creates WebArgs, ASP.NET Core Builder. And then this one goes down there and creates that. All right, let's see if it gives me the same setup. I want to use Swagger to test. All right, swashbuckle. Add the Swagger configuration. Okay, so it's doing this. So we got add endpoint API Explorer, yep. Add Swagger, yep. Version V1, I don't know. Why do I need to know the version? Title, my API, description, my API description. So name. They have different pieces in here. Swagger doc, options.swagger doc. So that's add security definition. So all of my other stuff would go here. So they're using options.swagger doc. Add Swagger to your controller. Add your token validation controller. Oh. Run the application and access the Swagger by navigating to 501 Swagger. I mean, I already have the Swagger, but I didn't know you can just add this to. It's already in Swagger. I mean, I don't need to add it to it. Simply having a route there that covered it. I don't know how this differs. adding it to my token validation controller probably simplifies the responses. And then this is my validate token code. I don't know what the benefit of doing it that way, but I just wanted to see, because it doesn't do this. OAuth 2, Open API Security Scheme. I'm trying to see what's different about how this is set up. got the authentication, singleton authorization. Right? Does it make a difference if I am using identity server? Using identity, you'll need to configure Swagger to use the identity server authentication scheme. Here's here it goes. Add security definition. Alright, so that does change things there. Add security definition, OAuth, new Open API security scheme. Alright, so that matches my thing there. Parameter location header. Authorization URL, token URL. Alright, where's the connect token? New URL, https youridentityserver.com/connect token. Scopes, new dictionary. Your scope description. This is definitely a lot more stuff. It's like, it's already complicated enough. Hey, this just adds more. That's what I'm saying. The whole .NET stuff is, whew, boy, it is an ugly. Let's try this. Can you apply all these responses to a single response? Web Aggregate Builder, Endpoints Explorer, Swagger, version, title, description. They definitely do things differently. But again, this just proves that there's some stuff. So it's a lot about the coding is understanding what's important to the actual need of the application, right? Add security definition, add security requirements. See, this does not have all of the responses in there because this does not have authentication in it. Because if it did, it would be in here. Add Swagger to your controller. Add the token validation to the response. Because that's not in this. Okay, so this has everything. Supposedly. um, again, they have, I don't know what V1 or what the version is. Why does it matter? I don't know. Title, my API, I can change that because it's not that, but because they've got parameter location dot header. I don't know why that matters. I have a feeling that the swagger that this is creating is going to be slightly different. Okay, guys, I got to take a break. I'll try to get back to this a little bit later, if not tomorrow. Still plugging away. Haven't quite figured it all out, but hopefully once I get this validation token to respond correctly, we'll be on our way to the next step. Till next time, take it easy.